we wanted to just hear from you, about how the Georgetown meeting is going and anything you might want to share with us, or any kind of support you might want to ask of us. So I don't know if you have something you'd like to tell us right now.
Well, we are very happy that you are continuing to be interested in us. I will tell you that your message about this meeting came at a perfect time for us. We had just about decided to call it quits. We have had problems with attendance ever since we have been able to come back to meeting from our COVID lockup. And several times I have been there, or our co-clerk has been there. No one else has shown up. Very discouraging, and sometimes people say they're coming and they don't. So we finally started having our contact lists reply if they plan to come, so we would actually know whether to show up for meeting or not. Meeting of one person can be held anywhere. We don't have to pay rent and go into town to do that. Anyway, so we finally sent out a message to our contact list saying, this is how it is. No one's showing up. Do we want to call it quits? We have Austin meeting. We can go there. We can Zoom with them. And so this was before last week. So last week I got there early, and when I got there, there was another one of our attendees already waiting to get in. We had several others show up, and we had a request to Zoom from one of our attendees who is no longer able to physically come to meeting. This was very heartening. We had a short worship time, and we spent time honestly and openly discussing the future of our meeting. One of the problems we believe is it's just so quiet. No one really has anything to bring up or talk about during meeting. And so we need to work on being coming forth with thoughts that we might have that could be of benefit to others. And we talked about our rent went up, so we aren't meeting. We were meeting 3 times a month, and now it's twice. And so we cut out the forum meeting, which some people like and some people don't. The forum, we would pick a topic and we would have a leader and just have discussion for the time we were there. I loved it. Some other people didn't come. They didn't like it. Anyway, the consensus with our group last week was, yes, we need to do some sort of forum type discussion. We decided to cut worship time a little bit short at 1 meeting a month and spend the extra time that we have on our rent agreement in a forum discussion. Also, we decided to go back to the idea of introducing a query, anything interesting at the start of worship to kind of get people started thinking. And maybe we'd all be thinking along the same line. And after worship, we could talk about it. So like I say, your email to help us came at the perfect time. So what do you have for suggestions for us to get people back to worship?
It sounds like you got everybody's attention there, and that's why they...
Well, it was very heartening to say, well, we think we'll quit, and everybody shows up. Oh, the other thing we decided we needed to get back to we were having just a social coffee meeting at a local coffee shop that is run by an organization. You know, the money we're spending there goes to a charity, so that's good. So we did that yesterday, and we had 5 people there, which is a world record. So I think we're still going.
One thing that you could encourage people to do, Karen, is on the weeks that you're not meeting, to join us on Zoom in Austin, because we don't have a lot of spoken ministry, but we do have some spoken ministry sometimes.
Yes.
And if they might get the idea that spoken ministry was a good thing.
So I no longer get the emails from Austin Meeting. Are you having a meeting, a discussion meeting every week? I didn't know that.
Most weeks we have, the third week we always have a singing meeting, but everybody's welcome to join us in that too. We really enjoy doing that. So, but you certainly could come join us for worship on Zoom, because there are other people who join us now on Zoom for worship. So we have quite a community that doesn't necessarily come to the meeting house for one reason or another.
Yes, and that's another thing we discussed. We always let people know in all our communications that they can join Austin in a Zoom meeting, and I don't know how many have done that. Do you have, are you talking about the regular meeting for worship, or you're having a discussion meeting every week?
Well, we've been doing everything on Zoom. Somebody else wanted. I'm talking from Massachusetts.
Karen, this is Steve Dock. How are you?
Oh, hi, Steve. Good to see you.
So we have an adult religious education committee, and we hold forums on various topics, at least I'd say 45 weeks of the year.
Oh, okay, good.
So that comes before meeting, 10 to 11.
Oh, all right,
and
like
then,
we're doing now at 10 o'clock.
Exactly. This is a forum, and then 11 to 12 is worship. And both of those are available both in person and on Zoom. And
well, I did not know about the 10 o'clock meeting. That's
and you don't have to do anything special. All you have to do is go to our website, austinquakers.org, and you'll see a place that says join, and you click on that, and the Zoom link will be there.
Well, we will get that info out right away in our next communique. Thank you. That's good.
Karen,
yes.
Steve, Harry wanted to say something. He's here.
Here I am.
Hi. How are you?
I'm sort of here. Let me move it back a little bit. It'll be fine. Oh, I just wanted to say that that folks should be on our emailing lists. And we put out 2 reminder emails a week, one with just the online stuff, and the other is weekly bulletin that has everything that's going on. And the way you subscribe to those is you can either send me a message at fma@austinquakers.org, or even better, if you go to the website, go to the very bottom, and on the right-hand side, there's a little, envelope icon for mailing lists that you can click. And that will tell you what's coming up and give you reminders every week.
Well, we need to get our mind set to do that. I am not a real run to the computer person, you probably can tell. My mind just doesn't work that way. We do have attendees who are very into that sort of thing, and we need to encourage them more. We always tell them, go to the Austin meeting and you can find things. So we need to stress that.
And other than that, just be aware of the regular schedules, that there's a forum every week except third Wednesdays, which is singing meeting.
Oh, yes. Well, I won't be at that one.
Sorry, third Sundays.
Yeah. And Karen, if you have announcements that you want to share, you can send them to us and we'll include them in the weekly bulletin.
When we have, if we get back to this forum idea, we will send those to you for sure. Summer is always an more or less iffy time with our meeting. It's unfortunate that the other co-chair and I are the two people who travel the most, and this doesn't help our meeting too much. And but we're gearing up, and hopefully it's going to be better. We do have, well, I think I mentioned we have a longtime attendee who can no longer come to meeting, and we did Zoom with him last week. He's able to do that now, and that meant so much to him. And I'm going to encourage him to Zoom with Austin more too. I think it would be a great benefit, and he would have good things to say to you.
Karen, this is Eric and Todd.
Hi.
And one of the things that I collected the worship and ministry group a number of years ago had what they called bench quotes.
Oh,
and I have a collection of those in electronic format, a whole list of different quotes.
Okay.
That useful to you. I can send you those quotes as something that you might be able to use as starting, to start worship with, as a kind of a lighting the fire kind of thing.
Oh, that's good. I would appreciate that. We used to do this when Gail was our leader, and we had a few people that didn't like it, said it interrupted their thought process. Well, they're gone, and they moved away, and so we do kind of need to get back to this. So I would appreciate those bench quotes.
I'll send those along.
I appreciate. Do you have my email address?
I think somewhere I might have it. If not, I can get it from Howard.
Okay, that'd be great. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Erica, it's on the yearly meeting list.
It's a yearly meeting.
Yeah,
I can take it. No problem.
Yeah.
But Karen, I don't think anyone has your phone number, which would be really good to have.
My phone number?
Yeah. Does somebody want to, I'm not in a position to take it down, but would somebody take it down, or maybe you can send it in an email to Howard?
Well, I can tell you what it is.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give you my cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
It's 908-240-8550.
Okay. 908-240-8550.
Right.
All right.
Karen, this is Chip Hawk.
Hi.
Hey, I live in Cedar Park, and had, originally when we moved to Texas in the very end of 2017, I actually thought of coming over, and I'd sure like to come over and visit your meeting sometime.
We'd like that.
What days are you currently meeting, and do you have like a web page or something, or perhaps maybe we in our own in the FNA?
Yes, that's something else. Oh, and I don't even have the website here.
It's Georgetown Quakers, isn't it?
I think it is. Oh, where do I have that? Oh, well, anyway, we'll find it. And
GeorgetownFriendsMeeting.org.
That's right. Okay, thank you. You can tell I'm not a computer person. I don't mess with websites any more than I have to. Yes, GeorgetownFriendsMeeting.org. And we meet the first and third Sundays at 10:30.
That's it. Yes, here it is. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think your meeting has, in fact, I think you put it in a lot of your communiques.
Yes, we do.
Has our information. And right now, if you'd like to be included, if you'll send your name and address, we will add you to our lists and let you know if something happens and we don't happen to be meeting, so that you won't come and no one is there.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are a number of us who would enjoy every once in a while visiting your meeting. So
We would like that, and we should come visit you more. It's just that I am older, and that highway to Austin, I try to avoid.
Yeah. Just by the way, if you need any assistance with website or any other computer communication stuff, just send me a message at fma@austinquakers.org, and I will be at your service.
You know, thank you. We appreciate that. And, you know, we've had a member who is an expert. In fact, we have two people who are experts at websites, and we've been trying to get them motivated to work on this. And I think we've done that now. And we said, well, this may be it. They met together yesterday and have started talking about this. And so I think the website, we've had a website for years. Like I said, I'm not a computer person. I'm not on that website all the time. But you know, a lot of people like this. So we're working on that. Who should I have them contact? If you'll give me your email address.
Okay, I'm Terry Sorrell, but just send the message to fma@austinquakers.org.
Oh, okay.
And they'll get right to me. And one other thing is, if you will let the other people who are working on website stuff know, we can work out some creative ways to link our two websites. Or
well, that would, I'm sure they would.
Yes, a little more.
They would know how to do. They would be interested and know how to do that.
Yeah. Well, just give them the same email address, and
I'll do that. They will be happy to hear what you have to say.
The other thing, Karen, is we have a whole lot of videos now on our YouTube. Oh, sorry, the dogs are.
That's all right.
We have a whole lot of videos on our YouTube channel. Let me wait until the dog.
The dog is excited. The dog is not a real Quaker, I can tell.
Right. I'll pick that up, Liz. Yeah. Well, Karen, on our website, we have many videos of the forums we've had over the past 2 years.
Oh, you video them. Oh,
since we started Zoom, we record the forums. So they're also austinquakers.org.
And they're on the...
Yeah, everything at austinquakers.org. I think it's /videos, but it's easy to find.
Well, I need to get on there and look at that.
Yeah.
I know one person who will want to do that for sure as a regular thing.
Well, at this point, we have 2 sessions of Quakerism 101, 2 different.
No, more than that.
Well, no, we have all the sessions of 2 different times.
2, yeah, right.
That we did Quakerism 101.
Oh, yes.
Could be using to help people who are new Quakers.
Do you, now that is on the YouTube?
That's on the YouTube, yeah.
Oh, that would be very good to tell every new person who comes to meeting that tune in and hear what they have. You know, we've done, and we've used your syllabus 101 a couple of times, but those of us who do it get a little worn out with repeating the same thing over and over every time a new person comes.
Yeah, you guys, this is James Fuller. I've been helping out with Quakerism 101 for the last few years. So in addition to those videos, which are available on our website, you guys would also always be welcome at Quakerism 101. We've been trying to do it every spring. And typically,
yes, I know you do.
The second and fourth Sundays. And they're usually about 2-hour sessions. And yeah, we've been doing it in hybrid for the last, I guess that was just this year that we did it in hybrid. Last year was fully on Zoom.
Yes, and we have attendees who have come in person to your 101, and yes, so that would be good.
One question I had for you is, how often do you have new visitors come to the group? And when you do have new visitors, how did they hear about the meeting?
We often have new people who come in. I'd say, well, probably every 3 times we meet, a new person will come, and they find us through our notice in the Georgetown newspaper or from our website. And often before they come, they have communicated with Robin, the other co-chairman who handles that sort of thing, so that they know exactly where we are and so forth. Sometimes they're interested in us, and sometimes we can kind of tell, well, they thought Quakers were curious and wanted to see what this was. You know, it's like anything else. Some of them come back and some don't. Life interferes. We have people that want to come and can't get there. You know, the same thing you all go through. We have lost so many of our regular attendees to moves out of the area. We get these great people and they're there for a year or so and they move away. And it's like somebody was saying yesterday at the coffee, well, with all these people moving into Georgetown, there have got to be some people interested in Quakers out there. So we need to work harder on that. I think we get our website revamped. It will be a good thing.
What is the age distribution within the Georgetown Friends meeting?
Well, there's old people like me, and there are young people. We have we range from probably 80 to, well, I can't tell how old people are, probably 30s. We've had a couple come several times who are in their 20s, and oh my, they're, you know, we try to help them. They're on a total different wavelength than we are. They say they're coming. They don't come. Oh, it's complicated. But we try to be there for every age group. And I know young people probably look at us and say, well, you're all old. We don't have accommodations for children, and that has not been a problem.
Well, if there needs to be any further attraction to come over and visit Georgetown, I know for a fact that one can get Blue Moon ice cream just off the square at the, I forget the name of the ice cream parlor. So
what kind of ice cream?
Blue Moon.
Really? I've never heard of that. You know more about Georgetown than me. Well, perhaps we'll put that in our communiques. Come to meeting and have ice cream.
There you go. It's a Michigan flavor that my daughter-in-law loves because she's from Michigan. You can find
Michigan.
very places, and you can find it right there in Georgetown.
Well, good. Well, we'll have to check that out. Maybe we'll go there sometime instead of our regular coffee spot. We decided not to have the practice of following up with a contact email or phone call with people who drift in. You know, if they don't come back, we have not had the policy of contacting them. Maybe we should and say we were just glad you were there. I don't know. I personally have visited other denominations, you know, throughout my life, and you know, I think they come on a little strong follow-up contacts. It turns me off. So that's my view of all that. But what is your policy in Austin?
We don't do any formal follow-up either, but we do, we do try to socialize at the end of meetings since we got enough.
Well, we do that too, because we have, I think it's 45 minutes after meeting of just coffee and discussion time. So
that's great. And then
we do get, if they want to share their email and contact info with us, we make that available. So you don't follow up either. I think that's because
but we do. But we do. What we do is we have a very defined policy of inviting people to get on our mailing list.
Oh, we do that, yes.
So, that at the announcements every Sunday, that's one of the first things we say is, record your name and your email or physical address over here, and we'll take care of it.
Well, actually, we do the same thing. We ask, please, if you'd like, give us your name and email, and then we do send those people all of our communiques for a period of time. And we just sort of feel that's enough. Nobody wants a phone call saying, well, you were here, why didn't you come back?
Yeah.
Just curious, you mentioned there was sort of people were feeling the lack of vocal ministry. Has that always been the case at Georgetown Friends Meeting, or is this something that's happened more recently?
That's a very good question. We just don't, we have never felt comfortable speaking out in meeting. I've done it a few times, others have, but it's not a regular thing. And so we just somehow need to overcome that drawback. And I think what we need to do is have a forum on speaking and meeting. And we've done that before, but I think it's time to do that again.
That's the age-old question. As someone who's been on and off the worship and ministry committee here, that's big. The big questions is when is there too little vocal ministry, in a meeting, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes it just means that the Spirit is moving very deeply. But, if we go ages and ages without any, maybe that's a sign of something else. So, I think it's good that you have a forum on it, because I think
so too.
Because I think you might find that some people just really appreciate the silence.
Exactly. I mean, we don't want to go to the other extreme.
No.
Always the fear.
I think a smaller group never runs the risk of going to the other extreme.
Well,
that's been my experience anyway. But yeah.
How long have you personally been involved with the Georgetown Friends Meeting?
I was trying to tell somebody that yesterday. Oh, it's more than 10 years. I've been here 15 years, probably 12 years. And I became the default co-clerk when our founding clerk moved away, and she has since passed away. And I'm a follower, not a leader. So we have two of us who are followers and not leaders. So that's probably not good. The other co-clerk does not care for forum meetings at all. She's all for getting rid of all the discussion and so forth, and she doesn't come to the coffee. So we're very different. And she's not here today. She was called out of town to attend to a Quaker sister-in-law who was ill.
I'm sorry, who is the clerk who passed away?
Gail Twynham.
Oh, okay.
And,
I must have met her.
and who is your co-clerk, Karen? Who's your
Robin.
Robin.
Robin, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that she lost a sister, or
Well, a sister-in-law had suddenly needed surgery, so Robin is there
okay.
in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Community there.
Oh dear. Well, I hope that goes well.
I hope so too. I will tell her.
Okay. And she's been a steady force in the meeting since the very beginning. Robin.
Excuse me?
Robin has been a steady force in Georgetown meeting since the very beginning.
She came after I did, but yeah, she's a good steady force. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I always think of her as being the person who got it together again after, it was a while. Nobody was meeting up there. So anyway, you've had a good team, and you've Emily Northrup. It's too bad that she moved to Birmingham.
We get these fabulous people. They move away. No, everybody's moving to Georgetown. It's just our fabulous Quaker people that move away. We've had 3 or 4 steady attendees who disappear from our lives. They don't disappear from our lives. We keep in contact.
It feels like that in Austin too, let me tell you.
And we do have some of these people are probably still tuning into Austin meetings, Zooms. I don't know. During the pandemic, a lot of people did a lot of Zooming with different meetings.
Just curious, one big conversation we've had here at Friends Meeting of Austin recently is about how to sort of distribute and think about all of the various sort of volunteer work that needs to happen to sustain the meeting. And I was just wondering, how does that work at Georgetown meeting? Do you have any committees, or is it just the 2 of you who do most of the work of the meeting?
Well, we'd like to have committees. Oh, actually, I am also the, I can't think of the word, send out the get well cards. Anyway, I've done that for years before I was clerk. We don't have enough people for committees. We have the 2 co-clerks. We have a treasurer, and that's about it. We just don't have enough steady attendees to have committees. We're all on every committee, I guess.
Do you meet to transact business at all?
Oh, yes. We do have meeting for business. And of course, we let the whole list of attendees know when this is happening. We did this last Sunday. Probably on a quarterly basis, we do this. And we're looking, we have had a volunteer opportunity outside the meeting. We have supported Food for Friends, which is in the Bartlett area, cooking for people who need help with their daily meals. Some of us were volunteering in that, and we were supporting them financially. And then when the pandemic came along, the cooking part no longer happened. We still support this group financially they do things like backpacks for blessing and that sort of thing. So we do give them money, and we're following through to see what's going to happen in this area. If they're ever going to get back to where we can actually go and volunteer. And we're also open to new ideas for volunteering outside in the community. We have worked some with the place we meet is a building that the First Methodist has. And so we have done a few things with them. So we may do more of that in the future now that people are getting out and doing things.
One of the forums that we had recently that I was really interesting to hear everybody's thoughts. The question was, what do we see Friends Meeting of Austin looking like in 10 years from now?
Oh, yes, that's good.
What would do you have any, what would you hope that Georgetown meeting would look like in 10 years?
Well, I hope we're still there. And I would hope we would grow. I would think of 5 years at this point. You know, when we started, it's hard to believe we've actually existed probably over 12 years. It started in Sun City with people who lived there. And, you know, I don't think that group would have ever looked ahead 10 years, seeing that it was outside Sun City at that point. So who knows? But we hope we're still there and we have growth in the meeting.
Do you ever see yourself trying to get a more permanent home, or do you see that the sort of renting model works best for Georgetown?
Absolutely, we are not building a building. We don't have enough people or enough money, not going there and doing that. We're happy to rent. We're very grateful we have such a nice meeting place. Our rent did go up, and that's why we went from 3 times a month to 2. And we have our coffee, as we call it, on a Saturday. Well, we meet the first and third Sundays, and the coffee is on the first Saturday. So that's 3 times a month we're gathering together.
In terms of the social life of the meeting, are people at the meeting, are they friends with each other in the sort of more, you know, ordinary sense of the word? Do people sort of meet together or have lunch or any sort of things outside of the context of meeting?
Probably not as much as maybe we'd like. We have several who work, and we live here, there, and everywhere. I do often have coffee or whatever with one of our younger members who's been through a real hard time. I try to support her and be there for her. We take care of each other. If somebody is down, somebody needs something, we're there. We step in. We have our treasurer has been through cancer treatment at MD Anderson. And believe me, we were there for her, and she knows that. She got to come to meeting last week for the first time in months and months, and I can't tell you the joy that brought.
Are there other things that we could do here at Friends Meeting of Austin to support or relationship with you guys. But,
just knowing you're there and we can contact you when we need you means a lot to us. We appreciate your constant support and your help. I think our group just needs to get out of the quarantine mode and pick up the pace a little bit. And I think our group is showing they're interested. It's not just us who's having attendance problems. The whole church world is. So it's just getting back in the mode, I think. And we made the choice not to Zoom during COVID, and several people, and I did too, Zoom with Austin. But we are going to set up a weekly Zoom for our wonderful person who can't come to meeting anymore. We Zoomed with him last week. He was so appreciative.
Talking about that, sorry, I feel like I have many difficult, tough questions. How are you making decisions regarding COVID and safety at Georgetown meeting?
Just like everybody else, we follow the guidelines. Of course, last week when our person came back for the first time who'd just been through MD Anderson treatment, we definitely were still wearing our mask. We hadn't been, we're doing the same thing everybody else is. When she's there, we definitely will, for this foreseeable future. We're back, just hoping for the best, just like everybody else. Are you still wearing masks an in-person meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see us well, but we're all wearing KN95.
You are wearing masks, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, the Austin metro area is at medium, and a number of cases are kind of growing. So
yes, I know.
We err on the side of caution as far as masks and requesting that everyone who comes to meeting be vaccinated.
We have not mentioned vaccination, but I know that all of our people have been. I just happen to know that. So we have not made that a policy. I don't know if we should go that far or not. You have felt in Austin that it's necessary to make that request?
Yes, we have from the beginning, March 2 years ago, we formed a subcommittee, a health committee, and we get together every couple of weeks and review the current situation and try to follow the guidelines. But in general, our approach has been we will be more cautious than the guidelines because the majority of our attenders in person are well over could be considered in the high risk age group.
Well, that's like us. And
so we err on the side of caution.
I will say that most everybody who comes in still brings a mask with them, and we kind of have, we're talking about 3 and 4 people. We kind of have a consensus. Well, we know we're vaccinated, and does anybody think we need to wear a mask? I don't know if that's the way to do it or not. We're just talking about so few people here. So I don't know what other, some of the churches are doing as far as masking now. Have you looked into that? That's their problem, right?
We probably just have a couple, we usually finish at 10:50, so we just have a couple more minutes here.
Okay.
Before we'll break before meeting for worship. Yeah, if anybody had any sort of, if you had any more sort of thoughts that you'd like to share, or anybody had anything.
Well, I'm glad to hear that your urgent request and
Yeah, it all worked out great.
stirred things up, and that you've got some momentum. And again, if there's anything that we can do to help, share. We'll certainly make sure you have the information and about the videos and the other resources, and anything we can do to help. Don't hesitate to ask.
We appreciate that. I'm going to send out this info about the videos right now. You know, I said to Robin after I got Howard's email, I said, Robin, did you tell Austin we sent this email out about, well, should we continue or not? Robin said, no. So it was just meant to be.
I was on the list and I shared it with Worship and Ministry. So
oh, you did. Oh, so
yeah,
it wasn't just
I
out
did.
of the blue. Oh,
it was
right.
it was from your email, because I wanted to make sure that they had been talking about it, and I thought, well, this is a good time to check in.
It's the best time.
No, we had been talking for some time before about wanting to have Georgetown, Friends meeting talk with us. So that was
Well, I'm sorry more people aren't here. I did share the link with several people.
Great. And please feel free, we're probably going to end the recording and the forum now, but feel free to stay on for worship, which starts in 10 minutes.